Thinking about buying a franchise? Don't go it alone. Just like a buyer's agent in real estate, you deserve someone who's on your side every step of the way. That's where Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, comes in. Todd's consulting services are completely free to anyone looking to buy a franchise. He'll represent your interest, make sure all your questions are answered, and walk you through the entire buying process. With Todd in your corner, you'll have the best chance for success from your first call to the day you hold the keys to your new business. So before you buy a franchise, talk to someone who knows the industry inside and out and works for you. Call Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, today at 423-381-0925 for a free, no-pressure consultation. That's 423-381-0925. Your future in franchising starts here.
Good Tuesday afternoon. My name is Todd Abraham, and you are listening to the Franchise Flashlight podcast series on franchiseradio.net. And I have to say that slowly because there's a lot of the letter F's in those words. Today we are, let me just preface my guest with this. Today we are talking with a gentleman who has got a very unique art concept business model. And me being a creative person that the Lord has blessed me to be, I always like interviewing, doing these kinds of interviews because I personally do a comic strip myself, and the Lord has blessed me. I've done some acrylic painting and that sort of a thing. I love creativity. So without any further ado, let's introduce our guest, Mr. David Haken. Did I say that right?
You sure did.
Okay, perfect. And David, like myself, we both are visionaries, and I had a fun time talking with him at length by phone the first time, and he was talking about some of the things that he has done in his career, and I told him, I said, I think you've lived about 3 or 4 lifetimes. By rights, he should be 96, but he's nowhere close. But David, without any further ado, how are you, my friend? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Doing well, thanks. I'm sometimes I feel like I'm 96, but it's okay. I mean, that's that's part of living. But yeah, I've done quite a few things, a few careers. But the one that really has been the most recent one, for about like the last 25 years, has been art. And started out in the art business with some music groups that I had worked with, and as a golfer that I'd worked with. I've been basically a marketing person. So I've had some clients over the years. And so I put together some limited edition lithograph series for these stars, if you will, and to sell to their fans. And the unique thing about them is that we had original autographs on every lithograph, which is very unique. So they sold, you can imagine if you're a fan of some band or athlete, it's much better than just a piece of paper with an image on it. So that's where it started, I think, for me in the artwork business. I've always loved color, to be honest with you. I think that's the one thing that you and I have in common, and so I had an opportunity later on. I was involved with a gallery here in Las Vegas called the Art of Music, it was called the Art of Music, but it was backed by the Grammy Foundation. And so what we had that was unique, we had all this artwork, original artwork, and guitars and everything but it was mainly about the artwork created by musical artists. Everyone from Paul McCartney to Grace Slick to Bryan Adams, great photography, and just all sorts of, you wouldn't believe it, there was Bono and John Mellencamp, I love his music, but his paintings are scary.
See, now, I did not know that John Mellencamp was a painter. So that's a bit of music trivia that you're teaching me here today. Real quickly, I just want to interject something here. So first of all, let's go ahead and give you the website so that you can, while you're listening to this podcast, you can look and see what David is going to be talking about. So his main website is sunlightartgallery.com, which I think is a really awesome domain name. Again, spelled just like it sounds, sunlightartgallery.com. And on that website, you'll see all the examples of the artwork he's talking about here. But there's also a link which says be an owner, and that carries you over to own Sunlight Art, the number 2.com. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the podcast is how you can become an official licensee of Sunlight Art Gallery, and make a really good income in the process. So back to you, Mr. David, and uh, these are cool things. I mean, it literally, remember before I turn it back, you remember the thing they advertised on TV forever was those big, almost life-size, wall stickers of like NFL players and stuff like that. I can't remember what they called them, but they advertised on TV forever. This is the kind of concept that reminds me, but yours goes on Windows.
Very good. So we can skip forward to that. I mean, I'll just say briefly, my foray into color and art was then amplified when I met Peter Max, the famous pop artist, at that Grammy gallery, and later on I got a call if I would be interested in doing a Peter Max gallery, and I said one place on earth, and it was the Forum Shops, Forum Shops in Vegas. If you're familiar with that, it's very, very good mall. And we ended up all we had to do was say Peter Max, and they put us in ahead of 35 other galleries that wanted this new space.
Wow.
So yeah, so we had a very unique gallery in the Forum Shops, and then later we opened a second one in Maui. And basically what Peter did for us was he wanted it to be high end, not the kind of stuff you find on cruise ships and so on. No lithographs. It was all original paintings. And it was just a lot of fun. But what I learned there is how important color is to people. It really is. And then take it one step further, how important light with color is. And if you look at all the paintings and artwork that you have on your walls, they are not lit unless you light them. And actually, I like to say that a painting, a light to a painting is the same as water to a plant. You've
Right.
got to put light on
Right.
a painting. You've got to put light on there. So what one thing led to another, and Peter said, "What can we do that's different?" I said, "Let's try painting. Why don't you do some of your paintings on acrylic panels, and I'll have some light boxes made, and we'll offer them to our VIP collectors at his studio." And every one of them sold $39,000 each. And
Wow.
yeah, well, those are Peter Max paintings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we saw how back illumination in color is just out of this world. So give me 5, 6, 7 years later, just thinking about it. And at that time when that was happening, the technology did not exist to put images directly onto acrylic. It
Right.
required certain inks and all this sort of thing. It was just starting. It hadn't even started. But anyway, now we are at a point where we have that technology. We've been really R&Ding this concept for almost 4 years.
Well, you know,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, but since I first met you and you first mentioned him, and even after we talked the first time, I never Googled him, but I just did while we were talking. And you're right. I mean, this guy has got the brightest colors, and some of his work is like really, really detailed, like his Statue of Liberty, like the headshot of the Statue of Liberty. I mean, that is some really very talented stuff right there.
Yeah, true. And I would close that gallery at night, at like midnight or something, and walk out of there. Sometimes I'd call him and just say, he was like a brother to me, Peter Max, and I would just tell him how grateful I am, and I'd feel so grateful just to be able to be his representative, because that art was just so breathtaking. We would have collectors, people that just for the first time seeing Peter Max, they'll go into what we call a viewing room where they turn the lights on. We turn the lights on and look at it, and people would would have tears. It's
Oh,
that
that's cool.
moving color,
Well, so
color
let's talk
and
about
light.
Yeah, let's talk about the actual products, because one of the things that I know is really popular right now is NFL merchandise. And again, if you're tuning in, We're talking to David Hagan, and his business is sunlightartgallery.com. And what he has done is got this a patent pending concept where he's taken like these awesome artworks and putting, as he said, illumination behind them and their window panels. So instead of having those boring, bland photographs, which I'm not putting my photographs down, that hang on your wall, but they're kind of lifeless, these go in your window, and therefore they're constantly, when the sun's out, you're actually getting to see them at a much different and a unique concept. So he's got NFL licensed, and what's the term for him again? You said
They are we call them sun catchers.
sun catchers. Yes.
Yes, they've been approved by the NFL through a dear friend who is actually the licensor or the licensee of these panels, and so we manufacture them and sell them. And there's one for each team in the NFL, and also we have not just the NFL panels, the 32 NFL panels, but we have about 50 other generic, we call them generic images. Some of them are birds, some are just beautiful things, colorful things, funny things. We have some Gary Patterson art, which is whimsical, very cool, and it's on there, colorful. And basically, what you do is they come packaged with 4 suction cups, and you get them. They're made out of, again, acrylic, and you just simply put the 4 suction cups on and just stick it on your window. And when the sun comes through, you'll think a light box was hooked onto it. It's brilliant. And that's what we love about this, what it does to the color of these. And so we have those. We do a lot in the custom business. So if you're a licensee of Sunlight Art, you have the rights to sell this. You not only we suggest you do it with a kiosk. It's a very cool kiosk. We've had a demo made where it's like a light box on all 4 sides, and it goes in a mall or it goes in an airport, somewhere where there's a lot of people, and it looks like a Christmas tree when it's lit up with all these panels on it. And so it really draws people to the color. It's really cool.
Just tell us about what kind of things you can put on these light catchers. You can do like family photos. Is there any limit to what you can't put on them?
No, there is not, unless you try to put something that's licensed on there that you don't have a license for.
Right,
but we do it. Another cool thing about this is that, so let me just say real quick about why we're using the word licensing and not franchising. So franchising, if we had a franchise and someone bought into the franchise, first of all, it would cost you a lot more money. Second of all, the franchise concept requires that you do everything a certain way in order to stay within the parameters of the operation of that company that is your franchisor. So, say if you have a McDonald's franchise, you have to do the patties a certain way. You have to call them a certain thing. You have to wrap them a certain way. You have to clean the shop how many times I mean, every single thing, the way you hire people. It's all very rigorous and controlling in a franchise. Licensing, which I've done 2 other times in my life, is basically franchise light, where you're getting the rights to be a licensee of Sunlight Art. So you can use the brand that's registered with the U.S. Patent and Trade Organization, Sunlight Art. You get to use that in all your business. We will sell you all the art all the panels that you want, and you have the flexibility to go anywhere in your territory, which would be basically your city, and sell what is the biggest part of this business, which is the custom things that you were talking about. Right. And the custom stuff is really cool because it goes everywhere from save the date little panels that you'd send out instead of printed paper. Send them out, and people stick them in their windows instead of it's on their desk, and they forget about it.
Right. And
Any,
two, what you
go
were
ahead.
saying too, I just want to throw this in. So,
Hmm.
so the kiosk is obviously the ideal place. But remember, a kiosk does not have to go just in a mall. A kiosk can go in a home show. A kiosk can go in a very busy, like a lot of these flea markets around the country. They're very big. They're very populated. In fact, Chattanooga, Tennessee has got one, and that thing is absolutely wall to wall people. But the other great thing about this is you can sell this in addition to using the kiosk model. You can sell it in other types of venues and you can be creative with it. And that's one of the things that I like about what you're offering here is the flexibility of how they can, sell the product.
Perfect. I couldn't have said any better because that's that. Yeah, that is the uh, one of the good things about licensing is that you can be as creative as you want with Sunlight Art. We will make whatever panels you want. We have the ability to the production capability here, and so we'll make anything custom you want. You can have the kiosk. It's good to have a central place, the kiosk, but from the kiosk your people can sell to schools. You can sell to youth teams. You can sell it to somebody for their wedding. Anybody, and what'll happen is as people in the community start using these, having these in their home, then their friends are going to want to do it. That's what's happening. It expands very quickly. We've even got a group of people in the city here in the West where they are it's unbelievable. They're doing they've got stuff it's going in this month into a parade of homes where they've come up with some really cool concepts of aspen trees, and they've covered two big windows in these aspen trees. So you walk into this room, the sun is just illuminating those aspen trees, and instead of windows looking out to the ground level or nothing really pretty, it is not only it's eco-friendly, not only because it doesn't require any electrical light, but also it keeps the heat out in the summer because these panels are protecting the flow of the heat through the windows.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah,
Let's talk about the website, because you and I talked about this, because
yeah,
whenever, with me being like you, a visionary, very creative mind, and as somebody with the Lord is blessed with a very strong entrepreneurial spirit, when I doing these interviews, that I got ideas going off my head like fireworks. So we talked about the website. You do get orders through the website. When somebody comes on as a licensee in, say, the state of Georgia, you're not only going to be very if I understood you correctly, what's the word I'm looking for? Flexible as far as their territory goes, but you're also going to have it programmed in the website. So if they're in Georgia, an order comes in through the state of Georgia, they are going to be the ones who will earn on that, correct?
absolutely. They'll benefit whatever they would benefit if they made that sale directly from the kiosk. That's no problem there. We don't want to compete with our licensees. We want to encourage them. We want to support them. Uh, the bottom line is that this is such a great idea that I can't expand it fast enough.
Right.
And and so what I'm finding with licensee I was just talking about is that they're coming up with ideas. I could maybe have the ideas, but there's no way I could implement them from here. There's no way I could have community meetings like Tupperware parties in their house where they've got this beautiful array of sunlight art panels, all different kinds of things from weddings and just beautiful things. NFL, whatever it is, they want to put there in their windows, and then they invite their friends in, and the friends are basically buying and ordering custom things that are going to benefit only that licensor or that licensee.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it reminds me of the old Tupperware parties, actually.
Yeah, yeah. There's another one I can't think of, but either way. So let's talk about the cost for someone to become a licensee, and then let's also talk about the cost, the all-in investment, if you will. But before we do that, I just want to throw this in quickly, that this podcast is sponsored by Franchise Marketing Systems. And if you are a business owner out there and you are looking to create a business model out of your a franchise out of your business model, you want to choose franchise marketing systems because they are the number one choice in the United States and Canada for creating a professional, very well branded franchise model out of your business model. And if that's, or if you are looking to purchase a franchise and you would like somebody in your corner to help, to protect your interest and to help you through the buying process, they do both. And if you're interested, you can call me directly, Todd Abraham, at 423-405-4040 for more information. So, David, let's talk about the cost to, first of all, becoming a licensee and then the all-in investment.
Yes. So the license fee to get a territory, what right now it would be a city, not New York City, but some part of that. So a good city that would be only yours. It's $28,000. That's an upfront fee. However, because of Todd, we are offering a special with this podcast reduction of $3,000 to $25,000. So that's a nice thing to, and Todd is smiling. So,
That's awesome.
so yeah, so
Yeah.
we're doing that for those of you who are listening that can refer, that can say you heard about us on Todd's podcast.
Podcast, yes.
Yes, and so as far as anything that you need to set up, it's very inexpensive. The whole thing with your license fee, the kiosk, and just getting up and going with your initial inventory is going to be $50,000. It depends what the variable there is, what the rent would be in a mall or an airport. If you get in an airport, you're going to be so busy, and even certain malls are going to be like that. We have one mall here in Vegas that I won't say they're begging us to get in. And so if somebody wanted to have the license in Vegas, we can put you into the best mall, one of the best malls in America, right here on the Strip.
That's awesome.
Right, I know. So I can't tell you how good that location is, but anyway, that's what it is. 50,000 should see. And as far as a royalty that we would charge on sales is zero. You make $1 million in sales, we're not going to take a penny.
That's fantastic. That's really good.
Yeah,
Yes.
we want you to do well, and really, I can't overestimate also enough that all the panels will come from us. All the inventory, whether it's a 36 by 36 a panel inches. I mean, that's either that big or just our standard 8 by 8 or 11 by 11. But those are the sizes that probably you'll have in your kiosk. But you'll have a sample of a 24-inch panel, you have a sample of a 15-inch panel, and then there's going to be people that are going to say, "Oh no, I want that size," and no problem at all. We have spelled out prices for all those sizes, and we can usually get them to you in 2 to 3 weeks. If there's a rush, a little quicker, yeah.
And let's just recap here too. Another great thing about this being a license model is that there's no extensive training period. I mean, it's a lot of common sense to it. I mean, you have a unique, again, patent pending product here. I wouldn't want to try to say that 3 times fast. And they are basically sunlight art panels, and you basically take, your favorite NFL team, your family photos, basically any kind of art that you want, and you can put it on these beautiful panels. And like David said, they come with 4 suction cups, and you put it on, a window, and when the sun comes out, it illuminates the photograph. And they're price wise, they're very cost effective as far as people looking for a unique gift that doesn't cost a lot of money, because Lord knows inflation has gone up. But the fact, like he was saying, that your all-in investment is going to be $50,000 or less, and let's face it, friends. In today's market, especially if you're looking at, licensing deals, franchise deals, all in one pool of opportunity, that's a very, very good startup cost. It's hard to find any business model in this day and age that doesn't typically run you $100,000 or more. And again, as David was saying, I did not know about this. That's why I was smiling. If you mention that you heard about Sunlight Art Gallery on this podcast, the Franchise Flashlight podcast series with me, Todd Abraham, they're going to give you a $3,000 discount on the licensing fee. That is a big savings. Big
Yeah,
savings.
and as much as you and I, Todd, like business, okay, we have ideas and we turn them into businesses. And the coolest thing about this one is that it's got a real emotional feature to it. I just celebrated the first birthday of my little granddaughter, and she is such a doll. And well, you can imagine what I've done in terms of sunlight window panels in the home of my daughter and son-in-law. And so every time I go to babysit and they go away, I take 2 or 3 new panels, sunlight panels, and with a base of beautiful pictures of Scarlett. And so when they came home this time from where they were, and they looked around their home, almost every window has a different panel, and all they are is the pictures that are otherwise on my iPhone or on their iPhone. And if you want to look at those really beautiful pictures of her first birthday or whatever, you've got to dig into your iPhone or you've got to look at a photo album. Otherwise, if you put them around the house, then the lights coming through and it's just so cool and it's very moving to see the pictures that are most important to you, your kids, your parents, whatever it is you want. Your dogs, we've taken those too. They're just there to see when you walk into that room. And keep in mind also, go ahead.
Well, just real quickly, let's talk about just how affordable they are. So let's take the average panel is what, 12 by 12? Is that right?
It's really 11 by 11. Okay,
Okay,
11 by
so
11 is
11
what
by
we do.
11, and then the
Yeah.
average 11 by 11 is how much retail?
Retail depends if it's a generic image, it's $20 or $19, however you want to do it, and your cost is going to be half of any of these prices. So you're going to make 50% on everything. Now and then on the NFL is more. It's 29 because there's license fees.
Right,
And
right. But still, I mean,
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
very
yeah.
affordable price point for, again, given inflation. And I mean, even if you go to places like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that, I mean, prices have really gone up. So the fact that people can buy this beautiful custom artwork and again, unique, not like a photo that hangs on the wall, for, under $30, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
they're made in America too. This is all made in America at the present time. We have been all the way through, so we've been able to keep our costs down, luckily. But now here's a cool thing about the custom business. So you're going to have people come through your house, for instance, at your Tupperware party or whatever you're doing, just coming to visit, and they're going to see these things. They're going to say, okay, my daughter's getting married. I want to get a 24 by 24 of this photograph. And we say, fine, you're going to post it outside the reception area, and it's going to be beautiful. Any number of things you can do. Again, you can send out wedding invitations. You can do this and that. But you can charge any retail amount you want. If you
right.
think if you think that 25 or 20 or $30 is not enough for what that product is, you can sell it for $50. It
Yeah.
really doesn't matter. So we
Well,
just
and
give
that's
you
well, I was just going to say that's the age-old adage, it's like, because I publish RB Christian News, I sell the advertising in there and myself, and of course I have set ad rates, but a long time ago, the advertiser told me, he said, if you can get more money for this ad from somebody else, he said, that's great. He goes, go ahead and do it. And I started laughing to myself, and I thought, well, first of all, I thank you for your permission for me to sell my ads for more money to somebody else. But secondly, I thought that's just common sense. I mean, if you feel like you can sell it for more, duh. But the fact that
Right.
you allow them to do that is really good, because some licensing deals are very strict in what you can and can't charge for something. So that's another perk of, and again, if you're tuning into this and we're just over 30 minutes in, we're talking to David Hagan, sunlightartgallery.com, spelled just like it sounds. This is not a franchise. This is a licensing deal. But again, it is patent pending sunlight art panels that stick in your window, and they're custom for, again, any kind of a photo you want to do, like he was saying, weddings, anniversaries, whatever, family reunions, your favorite NFL teams, they're licensed for that, and no royalties. All you're simply paying is the wholesale cost when your customers order these, and one of the lowest startup costs of any business in the country, and really a cool concept.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll tell you another thing is that we proved our concept. So this was a beautiful concept. We loved the idea and all. We worked out all the details, and then we proved our concept by Walmart putting us into 96 stores. And not the NFL. We just put in our generic panels with flowers and scenery and jet planes and things like that. That we were basically finding out they what whether they would sell, and we did. They sold like crazy. And what this the interesting thing is, the image is very key. The Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. Okay, good. Oh, good. Okay. Uh, so the image is what's very important here. What's on the panel is what sells it. But again, the concept is proven because people love the way they so easy, and the light illuminates them, and they stick on windows and all that. But if you got an image that isn't that compelling, then it may not sell. This is what we learned at Walmart. But certain of the panels just jumped out. So people love the concept, and we know that from our other customers as well.
That's great. Now, so let's talk about someone that's interested in this. And again, I just want to reiterate that if you mention the fact that you heard about sunlightartgallery.com, the licensing deal on this podcast, the Franchise Flashlight podcast series with me, Todd Abraham, you're going to get a $3,000 discount. And I think that's really awesome. So again, the website, sunlightartgallery.com. And on that website, in the navigation at the top, it says become an owner. Click on that link, and it will take you to the website, gives you all the information about the cost to start and everything else. Now, the best way for them to contact you, David, is there a contact form on that website, or do you want to give your phone number out so that people can contact you directly?
Sure, I'm happy to give you my phone number. This is my direct line. It's 702-526-3500. And I'll pick up. No, there's no assistant answer my calls. Feel free to call me, and I'll answer any questions you got.
And their email
So
is also on the website too. It's info@sunlightartgallery.com. Again, that's info@sunlightartgallery.com. And yes, there is a little contact form there for sure. So, David, before we wrap this up, I got to tell you, this has been a great podcast so far. Any other things that you would like to throw in that maybe I've neglected to ask you about?
I think we've covered it pretty well. It's yeah, there's definitely an emotional component to this. Once you get involved in it, you're going to think of all these ideas in your area with your friends, because nobody has these. Um, it's a great new concept for if people attend your wedding or your whatever graduation, remembering that day. There's a great take your best photo. We'll have them done for you in time for your event, or you send them to them later. Same thing with save the dates. Those are really popular because they're small little 8x8 panels, but people don't throw them away. Um, if you live in an apartment, the cool thing about these 11 by 11s and larger is that they fit right in the window and they give you privacy because you can't see in from the outside. So if what you're looking at in your apartment is another apartment, uh, it's not very private. Put a sunlight art panel in your window. It'll not only be beautiful in the daytime, but at night, it's gonna, anytime it will block other people viewing into your space.
That's very
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well, my friend, I got to say, I love the creativity of this licensing deal. Again, the uniqueness of it, and that's another thing, if you haven't thought of that while you've been listening to this podcast, is the uniqueness of it. There's nothing else out there like it. It's a good price point from a retail standpoint. It's very unique. But the one thing that hit me, I wanted to bring out before we close, is the fact that with AI, and the image design that you can do with AI now is crazy. I use it all the time, and I praise God for that part of it because it's been a huge blessing to me because all I have to do is type in the instructions of exactly the image I want designed, and when it produces it, it looks like a design team from 5 years ago. Photoshop experts did it, but then off to say it's like, well, no, take this out and add this. And my point being is that I did just a fun mock-up for me and my son. We were dressed in business suits, and I told ChatGPT, I said, make Jedis out of us, and it did, and it was so cool because my son still had his fedora on in the picture, and so I thought, what if we took that and put it on one of these panels? That would be so cool. So the reason I'm bringing that up here is because when you become a licensee with Sunlight Art, that's an idea you can give to your customers and say, hey, take a photo, make something creative, and then we can put this on one of these sunlight panels, and you can make it a lifelong memory there.
Yeah, that's a great one. You could do that with, like, let's say somebody's having an important birthday, say a 40th birthday or a 30th birthday, whatever it is, and you know you're going to have a party, and it might even be a surprise. So get an AI image if you want, or a favorite image, and get these panels done so that at the party everybody's going to get one. You're going to have a big one that will be the headline of the party. I mean, it's a great way to do it. There's no end to the imagination that you can use with sunlight art. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, as we get ready to wrap up here, we're talking to Mr. David Haken, sunlightartgallery.com. This is not a franchise. It is a licensing deal, which comes with so many perks as far as freedom of operation. And this is a unique product. It's a sunlight art panels and 4 suction cups, and you've got the most unique artwork on any window that you choose. You can get a collection of them. But from a retail standpoint, because the price point on the average sales typically be under $30 for such a unique gift, that is really cool. Check out the website, sunlightartgallery.com. On that website, as I said before, at the top, it says Become an Owner. Click on that, and that'll give you all the information that you need in order to become a licensee with this great company. And David Haken has put his phone number out there. You can give him a call directly, 702-540-1890.
Oh no, my number is 702-526-3500.
Okay, perfect. So the number
Yeah.
on the ownership website, is that like a landline or?
Yeah, you can call that one too.
Okay.
But I just gave you my direct cell.
Perfect. And you can also contact me, Todd Abraham, 423-405-4040. And I can also help you get in touch with David if you can't reach him directly. David, thanks so much for being on the podcast, my friend. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Todd. I have too. And let me just give a shout out to Franchise Marketing Systems as well, FMS. What a great team. Boy, if you have an idea, they'll know how to make it work.
Yes, they are fantastic. And folks, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, God bless.